possibly career-changing. Did you get to see the play?
Yeah, so I did not see it. Well, I kind of saw it live because you texted me. I was at the coach's show, Tim Walsh, Chris Sylvester, all the company there at Milestone Tavern, and we were watching Chris and company. We were watching the Yankees and Astros game, and then we were also watching the basketball game, obviously. And we saw, when I looked up, I saw that everyone was kind of like shocked, so I didn't know exactly what happened. Like it kept showing crowd shots, looking solemn and kind of like they had just seen something terrible. And then I looked at my phone and I got a text from you. I'm like, you said, "Oh my God, Gordon Hayward, his ankle is facing the wrong way, or his foot's facing the wrong way." So I tried to see a replay on there. You couldn't really see well from where my vantage point was. You could see it was bad.
Well, it was on live TV for about 2 seconds, and it was. I'm glad they took it off, and then it was just horrible.
I looked on Twitter and I saw the entire thing and did not look good. I would not say it was quite Kevin Ware, but it was like
there was a sock covering it.
It was a half a tier below.
Either way,
maybe just because the sock was covering it, but do not expect to see Gordon Hayward probably within the next year.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Well, I hate to start off on that note, but we do have a really fun show for you today.
Yeah.
We have a few high-quality guests, in my opinion. We have the San Luis Obispo local NBA guru, yes. And then we have Canada's NBA guru coming in a little bit later at about 8 o'clock, 8:30. But right now, we're going to bring in Brian Robbins. He is the general manager of KCPR on Cal Poly's campus. Brian, can you hear us?
Yeah.
Hey, Brian.
Good to hear your voice, man. Just real quick, 20 seconds, what are your thoughts on that injury that just happened?
Oh, heartbreaking. I jumped up off my couch and screamed. I mean, Gordon Hayward's one of the guys in the NBA that it looks like everyone truly respects and loves. It was great to see him reunite with Stevens, and then just to see that taken away so quickly into the season. It was really sad.
Yeah, it's hard to believe that the story coming into the game was whether Kyrie Irving would be booed or not when he got to Cleveland, and then to see that happen so early and just tragically, it really... That's now the number one story in the NBA, and I'm sure it will be for weeks to come.
I mean, it sucked the life out of the arena. You saw LeBron and D. Wade responding, and like Tristan Thompson. Everyone was just heartbroken, and it's just a shame that the season had to start that way because I'm so excited for it, but just a sour note.
Well, this is going to be a really cool season because we're seeing, like, even just tonight, looking at the game, I was like, who in the stink are all these people on the Celtics? What? Why is Jay Crowder wearing a white jersey and not a green jersey? And just... What are your thoughts about all these crazy trades, and just especially in that game that we just watched?
Well, I mean, I think we can contribute it all to a team that plays in the Bay, the Golden State Warriors, why we see a lot of this going on, because everyone's just trying to vastly improve. The Cavaliers, very interesting team. I mean, I don't really know about them. They have no outside shooting, really, from my perspective. I don't know when Isaiah Thomas is going to come back, but... The way LeBron's playing tonight, I think he had 29 points, 15 rebounds last I checked. If he's on that type of trajectory for a season, he's an MVP candidate, and the Cavs are going to be tough to beat. And then the Celtics, it was great to see Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum out there for the first time. Saw some good moments from them.
Yeah, I might have a Rookie of the Year candidate coming out of the Boston Celtics, just in my opinion.
Yeah, you have the benefit of hindsight. I did not believe that you had him as a Rookie of the Year.
I promise you it was on our show. I said it.
Yeah. Jaylen Brown, 25 points, 6 boards. Jason Tatum, 14 points, 10 boards.
Jason Tatum's third quarter, though, was out of this world. He was guarding LeBron for part of it, and he was still just producing on offense. I think he had, if not all of his points, most of his points in the third quarter tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, in the draft, you heard a bunch of Paul Pierce comparisons to Jason Tatum, and you could kind of see that out there. He was not that hot in the first half, but the kid looks for his shot. And I think he's going to be an exciting player, especially with Gordon Hayward out. He has a lot more time, a lot more minutes to play.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, if any team can take an injury to a star player like Gordon Hayward is the Boston Celtics. They have tons of wing depth for sure. Yeah. And Brian, not to stray from basketball for too long, but I just wanted to say, KCPR, if there's any station that I listen to besides 1280, it is KCPR. You guys are doing a great job. Enjoy all the music and stuff you guys have on there. So
thank you so much. I really appreciate that. We're having fun over there right now. It's an exciting year for us.
Yeah, for sure. You guys have a lot of great DJs on there and music, and I like listening to new things, and you guys always bring that. But now transitioning to the second game of the night, the Golden State Warriors are currently getting their championship rings, and they're showing the Larry O'Brien Trophy. Houston Rockets, they have a few new faces as well, just like we talked about with Cleveland and Boston, with Chris Paul now in town. How do you think Chris Paul and James Harden are going to coexist? I know both these guys are very ball dominant. They're excellent players, obviously, 2 of the top 10 players in the league. And they did play well in the preseason, but do you think there's ever going to be a little bit of a clash of personalities with James Harden being kind of the laissez-faire, kind of let things go, where Chris Paul is always so intense 100% of the time?
Well, I think it'll eventually work out, but I definitely think in the beginning of the season, we're going to get a couple great YouTube videos that will go viral on Twitter of Chris Paul just yelling at James Harden for not playing defense, which I'm very much looking forward to. As far as them sharing the ball, it's really all about staggering their minutes, and that's on D'Antoni. He hasn't done that much with a lot of his rosters in the past, but with 2 such elite, like you said, top 10 talents in the NBA, you got to stagger the minutes, and if you can have one of those guys on the floor running your offense at all times, it's going to be tough. They're going to score a lot of points.
Has the Houston Rockets closed the gap at all on the Golden State Warriors for this year?
No.
Has any team closed the gap?
The Rockets are my 3 seed in the West.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I don't see them. I don't think they pass San Antonio.
Now, I am a Kings fan. Have the Kings closed the gap on the Northern California rivals? Buddy Hield, De'Aaron Fox. I mean, De'Aaron Fox, a sleeper MVP candidate, obviously. Not even starting for the Sacramento Kings this season. Bleak times up in Sacto. But, yeah, I mean, Golden State, they obviously are the far and away favorites. If, obviously, everyone's picking Golden State, most people are picking Golden State to win the title. If you had to pick Golden State and not another team, or Golden State or the field, would you take Golden State or the field?
I would take Golden State because there's only 4 or 5 teams. I think the Celtics, I thought of them as one of those teams, and Gordon Hayward going up that really changes things for me. So I don't see anyone really.
Well, I think
I would take the Warriors.
I think all 3 of our notes coming into this show tonight have changed drastically now that Gordon Hayward is out.
Yeah.
For sure.
And it really is. It changes the entire landscape of the league because coming in, Boston had these 2 verified superstars who were going to carry them, I thought, to great depths. And now it's just I keep going back to the word heartbreaking.
Yeah. I mean, and what I first thought of is the Cavs kind of have, they've been able to, kind of coast through the Eastern Conference for the past couple of years. And then similarly, when LeBron was on the Heat, I know they had the Pacers, but it wasn't as tough as the West. But now, the Cavs can kind of coast, which I didn't think they were going to be able to do with a Kyrie, Gordon Hayward, Boston Celtics team. I think this really opens the door for the Wizards and John Wall. It made the East just a little less formidable, though, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, for sure.
I thought those top 2 could stand with the top 2 in the West. I mean, I thought that at the beginning of the season, but obviously below Golden State. But yeah, it's just heartbreaking to say again,
Yeah, and I did have the Wizards 3rd in the East, so I agree. I think this opens a big door for John Wall, Bradley Beal, Otto Porter, and company. If John Wall can have just even a season he had last year, I mean, if not for the Herculean efforts of Russell Westbrook and James Harden, John Wall would have been in every single MVP conversation because he was just absolutely dominant last year.
Absolutely, and when you look at John Wall's numbers throughout the past couple of years, he was one of the people I had a couple candidates for MVP who I've been going through, and he was one of them. And if you look at 2013, 2014, 17 a game, 10 assists, 2014, 2015, 20 or 19.9 and 10.2 assists. And then last year he jumps up to 23 and 10.7. I mean, I think it's realistic to think he could go 26 points a game and 11 assists.
Yeah, just a better version of Damian Lillard. Maybe not as good of a shooter, but a better slasher and obviously a better playmaker. John Wall is continuing to add more and more to his game, which is very impressive, as he's already been a great player. Are there any teams that you're looking at that you think may not come as a shock, but a surprising team, a team that everyone should kind of circle on their radar as maybe overachieving over what people expect them to begin the season?
I like Miami. I really like the Heat. At the end of last season, they started off abysmally last year, and then they almost got the 8th seed on some crazy run towards the end of the year. And so I'm buying Heat stock.
Okay.
I think the East is not good, which is an easy statement to say, but I think teams like the Raptors are falling off. So I see Miami getting that like 5 seed, going above Toronto.
Okay.
I mean, you got Hassan Whiteside led the league in rebounds last year with 14 a game. Dragic is great. Winslow is going to be the big question mark, him coming back. I really like Miami. What do you guys think about Miami?
I mean, you're going to get no arguments here. I love Hassan Whiteside. I also love what happened with Hassan Whiteside the other day with him and Joel Embiid. I don't know if you guys saw that.
Joel Embiid.
Those two are characters, especially Joel.
Yeah.
That guy cracks me up every time he's on the court, and I'm excited to see if he can live up to that contract and stay healthy for a full year. We'll see.
Yeah.
Someone who's played not a whole lot of NBA games getting that much money. It's
30 games.
It's insane.
Yeah.
You could almost
Wow.
contribute it to his Twitter presence if you think about
Totally.
it, because everyone just loves the guy.
and
Yeah.
he
But-
brings fans into the stadium, so they're seeing a return on investment.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and then those preseason clips of him. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I mean, he is an absolute beast. If he can stay healthy, I mean, he is a lock for an all-NBA team, whether it be first, second, or third. Because, yeah, I mean, he's almost 24 years old, which seems like strange considering you've only seen him play 31 games. But in those
Yeah.
31 games, over 20 points a game, 7.8 rebounds, and a couple assists, and he only averaged 25 minutes. So, I mean, he's averaging almost 29 points per 36 minutes. So the guy is already an all-star if he's able to keep things going. And with Ben Simmons, you know, he missed his rookie year too. Hopefully Markelle Fultz, you know, he had that high ankle sprain. Hopefully he won't have to miss too much time. But the Sixers, I mean, they have the building blocks for what could be a dynasty if everything falls into place and, you know, everyone kind of works into what people expect them to be.
Yeah, I love the Sixers. It's really all hangs on Embiid if you think about it, because
Yeah.
he is just that once in a generation talent. I think Ben Simmons could be that if he develops a jump shot. I also really like Dario Saric on the 76ers. He's good. He's
sure.
a good little stretch 4 almost
Yep.
for a team. But yeah, it really comes back to Embiid's health, and that's something like you see injuries like tonight. You just hope that everyone can stay healthy because this league would be so fun.
Yeah, I know. It really dampens the opening night mood to see, you know, maybe not top 10 player, but top 20 player, new guy in the Celtics system, Gordon Hayward, most likely being gone for the season. We haven't gotten concrete word from that, but he does have a fractured ankle. He was transported to a hospital, and he had an air cast on, so things aren't looking good for one of the marquee acquisitions for the Celtics. All right, so I guess we all agree. We'll give our picks later, but Brian, you're picking Golden State over the field. MVP, I think this is kind of an interesting conversation, just because so many of the superstars now are kind of teaming up. You know, James Harden, second place last year. Now he has Chris Paul with him. Russell Westbrook now has 2 superstars alongside him, so obviously he won't be averaging a triple-double. Maybe, I think. You know, maybe he still does.
Brian, you don't know this, but the man sitting right beside me right here has the biggest man crush I've ever seen on Russell
I
Westbrook.
do like myself some Russ.
It's almost sickening because I'm not a huge fan.
Yeah.
But
Russ
who?
is just a hungry dude.
He is. He is.
He's a hungry dinosaur, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Who is your pick for MVP this year?
Yeah.
My pick, and I toyed around a lot with this, is Kyrie Irving in
Oh,
Boston.
see, now it's looking good, especially with Gordon out. I mean, Kyrie, this is what he wanted. He wanted to be able to take over a team.
And he could potentially put up a triple-double this year every single...
Rebounds? No.
He will
Turnovers,
put up out-of-this-world stats this year. Sorry.
I could see him throwing up a double-double.
Yeah, there you go.
I really like him in that role. The reason I really like Kyrie so much this year is, one, he's angry. He's angry for taking all the heat all summer, and he wants that own team. And now he has all the pressure on the world with him with Hayward out. And I think if the Celtics can get a top 2 seed without Hayward, that immediately puts him in that discussion. And then if you think about the offense he was playing in Cleveland was such isolation ball. Like, yeah, LeBron James is going to kick it out to you when he drives. But imagine Kyrie in a system with Brad Stevens where he's cutting like almost like Clay and Curry are. And you saw a little bit of that tonight, like the open looks he's going to get. And Isaiah Thomas in this system averaged 28.9 points per game last year. There's no reason Kyrie Irving shouldn't get that. And I think he's a better player than Isaiah Thomas. So I'm all in on Kyrie Irving this year, guys.
All right.
Is your rookie of the year also from the Boston Celtics?
He is not.
Oh man, dang! I'm going to be by myself.
Should I say my rookie of the
Yeah,
year?
yeah, please do.
Let's do it.
It's Ben Simmons down in Philadelphia.
There you go.